Now I'm so mad I did all this and I ain't recorded no fucking thing. I was talking about ass outside that photo. I'm trying to do it fast. Let me share my screen. All right, this is what happened. This is what happened. Let's get it. Let's get it fast. What I said was, um, when the market opens right now, it's sitting here. This is gold. It's sitting here. As you can see, I got a fib on here. From point A to point B, it pulled back to the 50 already. I hope that I can get a decent pullback to either touch this trend line or touch that trend line. So I can get in for the continuation to ride it up to here. But as you can see, it already kind of pulled back to the 50. And I even broke this down with the evening or whatever. So basically, if it pulls back to this, if you get a retracement to the 61.8, basically you were looking for it to go to the negative 68. If you retracement to the 50, you're looking for it to go to the negative 25. If it retraces to the 38.2, it's going to give you aggressive push away from it. Not going to take off. 23.6 is a continuation. So if you get a retracement here and it starts stalling or whatever, it's just going to continue the pattern that it was doing. I really don't like the 23.6 because it'll fake you out, go up a little bit, then come back and give you a deeper retracement. But neither here nor there. Yes, I'm talking fast. But I had broke this down. I had backed this up to show you like the fibs. Hopefully y'all can see what's going on because I don't feel like believing this stuff. When you first start, you draw a trend line on the trend. As you can see, this is going down. So I got this black trend line going right here. Imagine this was a smaller time frame, only 15 minute bit. You could have cut this for the 5. So basically what gold did was, and I got a zone right here because it broke through the zone, retouched the zone, and couldn't break through. So that started to put resistance zone. So when it came down, it didn't come down and keep going and create lower lows. It started to create a higher low. So at that point, you draw a field, point A to point B, and see and wait and see how far it's going to trace back to. Let me back up there. So like on the 15-minute, it was here, bouncing off the 60-minute 8. So at that point, you see what the next candle will do, which I already knew it did that yellow candle. So when it gives you a bullish candle, you get in for the buy, and your first take profit point would be the 0 because you still got this trend line here and you don't know if it's going to break through the trend line, but your final destination will end up being the negative 69.8. So as you can see, it broke through the trend line, and if I go to a smaller time frame, it broke through the trend line, retested the backside of the trend line. So that's called a break retest. This is the continuation. You really should get in on the continuations because until you learn how to trade counter trends. So and the continuation, it hit the negative 600. Okay, once it does that with a fib and it came to this zone and stall. Once it does that with a fib and hit the negative 618, it's going to retrace back. So at that point, you should be out of this buy and waiting for the next play. So then you draw a second field to this is like this is point A, this is point B, this is point C, this is point D. Point D is the take profit level to end the field. It always be like negative. Point C, once you finish out the field, point C will now turn to a new point A point. So that's where you draw your new field at inside here when you're right here. That's it right there. That's yeah, that's it. All right. So now, mind you, when you have this one, so you can kind of see, I had drew this next one from this is now the new point A. This is the new point B where the field stopped. So you got the 100% of point A, 0 point B. Now you see it trying to see how far it's going to pull back to. So, and you notice it broke this black trend line. You looking for a retest of the zone, a retest of the trend line, Yeah, retest of the zone or retest of the trend line. Or retest of the structure it broke. This is the, and that's where the zone comes from. This is the structure that it broke. Let's see what it do. Let's pull it back. Bam. What it did, now I got a trend line going up. It started to really create an upward movement. It came to created a second point. So I draw this trend line. It tapped this zone. So this zone was resistance and now it's support because it tapped and it pushed off of it. So at the end, it hit the 61.8. At that point, your first stopping point will be the zero because you still got resistance here. You don't know if it's gonna break through it. But your final take profit point will be negative 61.8, which matches this 61.8. So as you can see, bam, what it do? It went straight up to the negative 61.8. Bam. So that field is now finished. So like I said, let me draw this right there. Let me draw this thing. Now this was your new point A, that was your new point B. This was your point C, your point D, which is negative 6.8. And the same thing, this is the impulse correction continuation. And if it keeps going, you got correction, continuation. But if you caught it, if you came to the market and started here, this would be your impulse, this would be your correction, this would be your continuation. So you get the money on your continuation. This was some good number that was on Friday. I put a little something. But all right, so now since this field has completed, what I said, now you draw the new field from the point. It's probably right here. Yeah. It could be right here. Because I had it here. Let me see something. And I put it here. But this is the actual pink right here. Pink is the pink weed. I ain't like that. Either way, you can have it either or. This still fine. So let me put it back because I like it. I don't like that word. All right, so now, as you can see, okay, let's finish there. It kind of stopped at the 50 and you tested the zone and that's the average zone. But what I need when the market opens, because the market do anything when it opens. As you can see, I got this little trend kind of thing right here, the dotted one. It already broke it. It didn't retest the trend line, it retested the zone. I wanted to come back when the market opened, come back and get another retest, you know, because it could take off from where it's at. Especially all going news with it, war and all this going on. But I would like for it to come on with another tap either here, the tap and test these trends. And then show me some buying moments and I'm gonna buy up further. If it just started at 50, you're looking at take it to never gonna sell it because you do have resistance point here. If it hits the 61.8, I probably will ride it to the negative 6.8 for a couple of reasons. One reason is because when I'm on in 1 hour, this big field you see right here, this big field going on over here, it actually lines up with this orange zone up here and this trend line up here. So these little fields that I had drawn in here is actually playing inside of this big field right here. So it all creates a big puzzle. So and that's how you kind of like to get your what they call right now money. So instead of a person waiting only 1 hour for this to happen, I done got all this money right here. All that money and you just put this, you waiting and you about to catch this one play right here. But that's neither here nor there. That's deeper down the line. Deeper down the line. I'm gonna continue to watch the videos on that. But I know it sounds like foreign English, but eventually it'll all make sense because the little foreign English to me every time I see, but now it all makes sense. Okay. So like I said, we will see what the market do when it open up. We'll make another video. I'm hoping that it give me another tap here, or it really wouldn't look good if it touch one of these trend lines. And that can be right at 608 and gonna take me all the way up here. So anyway, that's it for right now. And I'm probably gonna make another video after this to see what's what, and hopefully you'll get on with the I know I didn't.